Hi everyone, I welcome you to our channel as we want to discuss with you today poultry farming in Nigeria. Yeah, everybody is talking about it. You know, it's the time to go to farm, it's time to start agribusiness, and so many people are considering poultry farming in Nigeria. But shortly before you invest your hard-earned money, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 advice to give to you. I think could be of good help. To introduce myself to you, I'm Stephen Oloruni, and I work with my team on Agric Expert. What we do in Agric Expert, that is agricexpert.com, is to use our farmer to help people who are coming into agric business. Yeah, I'm going to tell you detail about that later, but let me just go ahead now and tell you 1 or 2 things. Assuming you are actually planning to go into poultry farming business in Nigeria, what is the first thing to do? Well, as I usually advise people who called me, the first thing to do is not actually to consider, you know, the farming aspect of the poultry business. I will have advised you look at it as a business venture, because this is how people miss it. You know, people usually hear from left, right, middle. Poultry farming is lucrative. You know, you can make money, you can make millions. But the question I have to ask you is, if it is actually true, why is it that we have not seen millionaires everywhere just through poultry business? And the truth is, you know, there is no business on earth that is profitable. You know, maybe you are hearing this for the first time, but that's the truth. There is no business on earth that is profitable on its own. You know, businesses only become profitable, successful, big, or whatever, depending on who is behind it. You know, it's just like a car. There is no car that is so superb on its own that can, you know, move itself without somebody instructing it. Even if it is driverless car, somebody still have to, you know, instruct it before it moves. So now, canceling whatever you might have heard about poultry business in Nigeria, I'm telling you the truth now that it is not just as perfect as you might think it is. Now, when people think poultry business is lucrative, they usually think all they need is get in and get it done and make millions. It is not as simple as that. Now, if truly you intend to get something out of any business, not poultry business or farming business alone, you have to take your time to actually learn the ins and outs. You know, take for instance, I received a call from a man, I think last year. He told me he lost 400 birds from his farm. And when I was asking him, you know, discussing with him on phone, I discovered that this man might not have actually getting, you know, any training from anywhere. You know, he might not have actually gotten anybody to guide him in the first place. He just felt like, wow, everybody is talking about, you know, poultry business, and everybody is talking about how lucrative it is. Yeah, and maybe he read a few posts, you know, on Google and something like that, and said, well, if I could feed them in the morning, at night, you know, if I could make their pens to be all right without code and all that, every other thing will be all right. And that is what, you know, he kept doing until he lost 400 birds. You know, if somebody loses 400 birds, it will depend on the age of those birds. It might actually be 500,000 or even $1 million he has just lost. Now, leave that aside and let's come back to my first advice for you is, if truly you want to go into poultry farming in Nigeria, you have to be able to see it as a business, and a serious one. I mean, very, very serious one. And every aspect of it has to be taken as business. You know, people you're going to work with, people you are going to raise finance or capital from, your employee, and every other person that is going to be involved must know that this is not farming. This is not just, you know, raising bird. This is not just picking eggs. You know, this is this is business, serious one. Now, it's about mindset really, and I'm just trying to, like, you know, twist it in your mind that is how you should feel. after you have done that right now, then the next thing to do will be, well, take consideration for a few of these things. First, you are going to need a piece of land. In our own terminology here, we call something like a 120 by 60. That is a plot. An acre, that is going to be like 6 plots, 2 acres, depending on the plan you are having for your intended project. But be sure, of course, you are going to need, if it is a serious business anyway, you could start at your backyard, but well, that is not going to be called a serious one. But let's assume you are going in for actually a serious one. It means you are going to need some piece of land. 2 things or 3 things about the land you are going to need. Let's say, first, you have to know that you are not going to get land in the residential area. And the reason is very, very obvious. 2 reasons. First, poultry produce huge odor. Very bad one. Second reason, wow, your poultry bed produce noise. Nobody will want to have his apartment very next to you, and when he wakes up in the morning, it is the noise and the odor from your farm that wakes him. In fact, nobody can endure that. In fact, not even you. So that is why you are going to consider new developing areas that are yet to develop. If you are in Lagos, of course, you are not going to consider Lagos. You're not going to consider the congested part of Lagos. Maybe you are going to shift to Ikorodu, Ogun, or any other axes that are still developing, and it will still take upwards of years before it becomes fully residential area. Now, after you have considered that, then let me give you some one or two tips in that regard. If, take for instance, you are going to be doing 2,000 layers. Now, let me say you want to do 2,000 layers. The normal capacity you will need for 2,000 layers will be like 1.5 plots. When I say 1.5 plots, our own terminology here, if you're in Nigeria, you understand what I mean by that. 1 plot is 120 by 60. Then you are going to need like 1.5 of that. That is if it is 2,000. But going for 2 will not really make any difference. It won't really affect you. And if, let's say, you are planning for 5,000, and of course you could be thinking of getting like 3 plots. In that case, now you have other space. You can construct a very mini store and stuff like that. Now, when you are done with that, the next thing will be that every person that is going to get involved with working with you on the farm, it will be very good for you to go ahead and get them trained. Get them trained from an experienced farmer. The criteria, where to get them trained is if a farmer who has been on this business for at least 3 years, he could tell them, no, this is the mistake I made, and this is what you have to do, and all that. Now, when you are done with that, now you want to consider, building the pens. There is actually how to. When you talk about building pens, it's not really about. I think it's not really about. You are going to need 2 pens basically. You are going to need brooding pen, and you are going to need layers pen. Brooding pen is specially designed for the chicks that are still very young. They are still growing up, and we designed the pen in such a way that it could be okay for their needs at that young age, because at that age they hate cold. It's just imagine our newborn children who are just 2 months, 1 month, 3 days, 2 months old. We want to keep them in a special place, not too much cold, not too much heat. That is just how the poultry pen usually brooding pen usually look like. And you have to understand the fact that the most important and the most dangerous period of your poultry business is going to be that first few months, which is the brooding period, because those are the time your birds are still very fragile, and if care is not taken, they could die with just a little thing. So the brooding stage really has to be taken care of with every attention, and it has to be with somebody who has actually master and know how to handle the period. What other things should I discuss with you here? Now, getting your chicks, very, very important. Very important because it's like foundation, it's like foundation to the whole thing you want to do. If that foundation is faulty, that is what Bible says, there's nothing righteous could do. If you get the birds from the wrong ash tree, it means there is no way on earth they could do well. When they are growing up, there is deficiency in them. The vaccines they should be given were not given. Proper ash tree methodology was not observed when they were being brought to life. So it means they are going to live their life struggling with their heads and all that, and it's just as good as unhealthy baby. Unhealthy baby will be sickly and of course could die. So you have to actually pay attention to how and where you get your chicks. It has to be from trusted ash tree. Now, when that is considered now, and you have been trained, you have gotten your pen in good shape, you have gotten very right kind of bed. The remaining one is management, which of course it has to be considered, business management and poultry farming management. On this note, I think I may want to be rounding off. Hopefully, I have shared with you 1, 2, 3 things that could help your planning. But should you need our further assistance, we can actually use our farmer to work with you, regardless of where you are in Nigeria. We have our associate poultry farm in Lagos, we have in Port Harcourt, that in Neche, in Port Harcourt, we have in FCT, we have in Imo, Kaduna, Jos, I think Oyo, and several other places in Nigeria that I cannot remember now. Actually, more than 26 states in Nigeria, we have our network, and the way we operate is, as we are planning to go into poultry farm, we speak with you on phone, the phone line that is going on your screen right now, and you discuss with us about your intending project. Then we are going to give you the opportunity to visit our associate poultry farm there in your state, wherever you are in Nigeria. So the objective is, for you to get trained really on the farm, but sometimes we still go further. After you get trained, or even before you get trained, we still go further to practically use our farmer to work with you. But that is only on very rare occasion, and it's only for big projects. We wouldn't go ahead and work with a very small project because of the time it involves. It is going to take from us. But really, you have every resources you need. You can get from us. We have experienced people who have been on this field for several years, 7 years, 9 years, and the joy of it is that somebody who has been here before, just imagine somebody who has spent 7 years doing certain things. He could easily guide you, show you the way, tell you things, the mistake he has made, how you could avoid them, and things that works, things that doesn't work, things you must know. And that is practically what we do. Our farmers are on ground. You are just coming in, we match you with them. They take you to the farm, show you things. You can read our books written by you can read our books, you can watch our video practically on the farm, showing different things. Then we can actually work with you. Now you can call us on the line you are seeing on the screen, or visit our website, that is www.agricexpert.com. We have our office in Ikorodu, that is actually at when you get to Agric, from there you can get to Okeria. Okeria, we are in number 9. While we are having our poultry farm associate, that is of Lagos at Odongoyan. But in other places in Nigeria too, you could easily get in touch with us, because we have our network in more than, I think as of now, more than 21 states of Nigeria for poultry farm. We wish you best of luck. My name once again is Steve Oloruni. As you are planning to go into poultry farming in Nigeria, never ever forget that it's all about seeing it as business. It's all about learning the intricacy. It's all about really seeing it as a serious thing, because it is not a joke. Thank you very much, and hope to receive your call. Thank you.